So what about this Trike issue where the engine blew up or exploded and wasn't covered under warranty by Honda? It was under warranty, but Honda would not cover the repairs. If you haven't seen that video already, look in the corner of this video. I'll put a link to it. Make sure you watch it first. If you are a Honda Goldwing Trike owner, or if you're thinking about purchasing a Honda Goldwing Trike, I highly recommend you watch that video. Then you can watch this video. I'll briefly touch on what was in that video, but I'm not going to cover all of it. So make sure you watch that video first. I've done a lot of research. I've had a lot of help in doing research. I found out some more answers along the way. So we're going to get into it on Cruiseman's Garage.
This video is sponsored by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Video Series.
Thank you, Don, for that introduction. Welcome back to Cruiseman's Garage, everybody. Today we're going over, this is kind of a part 2 video and the conclusion of this Trike warranty issue. Got a lot of comments on the last video. A couple of you said you were thinking about buying a Goldwing Trike and now you're not sure because this wasn't covered under warranty. Let me give you what I've learned so far, because I did, after I put that video out, I did call and talk to Paul, the owner of the Trike, and we spent 30 or 45 minutes on the phone, and he went into more detail on what actually took place. By the way, super nice guy, very easygoing, very forgiving, in my opinion. But basically, he purchased the Trike. It was a Roadsmith Trike, a 2018. He purchased it for $34,000. He bought it at the end of 2024. So it was already 6 years old. It did have the Honda Extended Care Plan, Hondacare Extended Plan warranty. It was under warranty. The warranty was transferred to him. That was okay. No problem there. And he had the like I said, the bike had about 6,000 miles on it when he bought it. And then not too long, I guess, after that, he had the bolt recall done at a nearby Honda dealer. Now, this is the first clue to this mystery, is that Paul told me this is a Honda dealership. It's kind of a small family-owned dealership in a small town. They're not a powerhouse dealer, and they don't sell Goldwings. They basically sell side-by-sides and 4x4s and smaller bikes, dirt bikes, things like that. They don't sell Goldwings. They have 2 mechanics on duty. Neither one is a red level service tech, you know, the high-end service tech. Possibly have never worked on a Goldwing. Very possibly have never worked on a DCT Goldwing. Some of that's my own speculation. But they did the bolt recall service where they went into the transmission, replaced the bolt. Okay. They told Paul that it took them about 2 hours. They used a shortcut method that they found online, probably on YouTube, where some of the techs have a shortcut method. I've been told lately that even 2 hours, that's almost impossible to do. So I don't know if they were just making that up or what. The way that works is Honda pays the dealers for warranty repairs like this. They pay them, I think it was 6 or 6.5 hours, plus they pay them to replace the oil and the filter and all this. So if they did it in 2 hours, they took some shortcuts that probably were not approved by Honda, shouldn't have been. Anyway, some dealerships can do shortcuts on these things because they make more money. I mean, if they get the job done in 2 hours, they're still going to get paid for 6. Okay, but we don't know. I don't know. I'm just going based on what Paul said. He's going based on what they told him. So it's a lot of hearsay. I want to make that clear. Now, as soon as I talked to Paul and I got all this information and I put the video out, I knew I was in, over my skis. I reached out to my friends over at DFW Honda here locally. DFW Honda is a huge Trike dealership. They sell more motor Trikes than anybody in the country. Motor Trike's a brand. So they understand the Trike business. They're a powerhouse dealer, so they understand the Honda warranty. They understand how to deal with Honda, and they have resources available to them that I don't have. They're able to reach out to people at Honda that they know and get information. And I was super impressed that from the top down, the people at DFW Honda really took this on and did their own research to see what they could find out. And I think they did it not because they stand to gain anything from it. Maybe they did it as a favor to me, but I think more than anything, there were questions in that video like about Honda's reliability or Honda's warranty coverage, and they did it on behalf of Honda and on behalf of people out there looking for trikes. Okay. Thank you, big shout out, and thank you to the guys over at DFW Honda. They went above and beyond in their research. In fact, they printed out some of this information. We know that the warranty, because they got the VIN number and they were able to do some research with Honda, they know the warranty was purchased when it was a two-wheeled vehicle. It was not a trike when the warranty was purchased, but the owner transferred the warranty. He was able to transfer the warranty, so Paul was covered under the warranty. They're not sure when the trike kit was installed. Now, the trike kit was installed by a trike dealer, not by this Honda dealer. The Honda dealer only comes into play when it came time to do the bolt recall and when Paul had the engine failure. He took it back to the same dealership. One red flag is the Honda dealer where Paul took the bike to have the bolt recall done. Like I said before, they have two mechanics, probably not that familiar with the Goldwing, certainly not that familiar with the DCT. And when he had the damage to the transmission engine, he took it back to that Honda dealer. And of course, they started contacting Honda, and they have to tear into the engine and take it apart and take pictures and send these pictures to somebody at Honda, one of their techs. And basically, the answer was this happened because it was a trike. Now, I still have not been able to get a really clear and concise answer as to why that was Honda's reason for not covering this. In the Honda Goldwing world, there is a thing called a red level service tech. And a red level service tech is your highest level of education working on motorcycles, Goldwings, DCTs. And if you're a powerhouse dealer, you have to have at least one red level service tech on your staff. Well, this is not a powerhouse dealer that he went to, and they do not have a red level service tech. Now, DFW Honda's speculation similar to mine, and I'm just going to read what they sent me or what DFW Honda gave me. Our service manager, some of you know, the service manager is Jacob. I actually had a podcast with Jacob, and he was in our meeting. We met at DFW Honda for over an hour, hour and a half, discussing this the other day. We had the owner of DFW Honda, we had their manager, and we had their service manager there, and we were talking about this issue. Anyway, our service manager thinks that when the bolt recall was done, they left off a spring that is behind the clutch plate. Very possible. If there was a loose part in the motor, when the rider slammed on the brakes as described, the part came up into the clutch basket area and ruined all of the clutch plates. Well, that's basically what I said. When he slammed on the brakes, all the oil, goes toward the front of the engine. And if there was a loose part, I didn't know could have been a spring, could have been a washer, could have been a nut, could have been anything, but he thinks it could have been a spring, and that could have ruined all the clutch plates. Clutch plates on their own are not covered by Honda because they're considered to be a normal wear item. So if you go out and you burn up your clutch in your DCT transmission, and you can do this, that would not be covered under warranty. You'd have to pay to have the clutch plates replaced. Jacob did confirm with TechLine. Now, TechLine is Honda's TechLine where you call in for a dealer would contact them, that all the clutch plates were seared and the clutch plates are considered a wear item. They did state that if it was a two-wheeler or a three-wheeler, they would not cover wear items, just like tires and brakes. That I understand. We get that. What I don't understand is why they kept telling the owner and the dealership that this was caused because it was a trike. That still is a little bit of a mystery. We don't know that. If it's the clutch pack that needed replacement, DFW Honda says that's normally a $3,000 to $4,000 repair, not $10,000 like Paul was told. So why were they telling him it was going to cost $10,000 to replace the clutch pack or to repair the bike? If there was something else wrong in the engine beyond the clutch pack, maybe it's possible. We don't know. These are things that are unknown at this point. But if it was just the clutch that failed and the clutch pack had to be repaired, it would be a $3,000 or $4,000 repair. It's possible that this dealership, since they're not that familiar, maybe they're not that familiar with the Goldwing, the mechanics, maybe they just didn't really want to mess with it. But they figured, if you want us to do it, it's $10,000. I did not get the $10,000 number from Honda. He got that from the dealership where he took the bike. They said it would be about $10,000 to do the repair. Well, for all I know, it was a $3,000 or $4,000 job, but they were going to charge $10,000 just because they didn't want to mess with it. I don't know. I am not going to mention the name of the dealership because I don't think it's really relevant to this. Because I'm going to tell you how to avoid this in the future if you own a Trike or if you own a Goldwing for that matter. I should also mention that this damage occurred approximately 1,000 miles after he had the bolt recall done. That to me is another red flag. It would appear that the damage occurred as a result of the bolt recall. That's sort of a common sense thing. It's a Trike that only has 10,000 miles on it. It's not a Trike with 150,000 miles. This is a 10,000 mile Trike. It's possible that if a part got into that clutch basket, caused damage, could have caused the clutches to slip and burn as he was trying to work through the gears to get this whole thing to run again. We don't know all those answers. And it's not really important. The real question is now, how can you as a Trike owner or a potential Trike owner, how can you protect yourself from this happening to you? Because Paul, when I talked to him on the phone, his number one concern is he's kind of past it. He has no hard feelings with Honda. He has no hard feelings with anybody, really. He's just a super nice guy. He just doesn't want to see this happen to anybody else. What could he do to prevent someone else from going through this same experience that he went through? And I'm going to tell you exactly what you could do to minimize the chance that this would ever happen to you, whether it's a Honda Trike, whether it's a Honda motorcycle, doesn't matter. Okay, so here is my recommendation to you. Number one, only, especially for a Trike, I would say even for a Goldwing, purchase from a Honda Powerhouse dealer. If you need warranty work done, let's say you bought your Trike from an individual, or you bought it online, or you bought it from somebody else. You didn't buy it from a Honda dealer perhaps, but you need warranty work done on the engine. You need something significant done. I'm not talking about replacing the seat. I'm talking about clutch work, engine work, anything like this. Make sure you're taking it to a Powerhouse dealer or a dealer that has a red level service tech on staff. Now, I learned something at DFW Honda that I did not know. You can find this information out right on the Honda website. When you go to the dealer locator, you can locate a dealer in your area and it will tell you right there on the website, number one, is it a Powerhouse dealer? And I suppose it's possible, even if it's not a powerhouse dealer, it could still have a red level service tech on staff. Make sure before you take your Honda Goldwing to have anything serious done, make sure they have a red level service tech. And make sure when you take it into the service department, I want the red level service tech to do the work on my bike. They probably would anyway. That's how you can protect yourself. Now, the other thing is of course, you do want to have the extended warranty. You want to have the warranty. You want to make sure your bike's in warranty. So if you buy a used Trike and it's more than 3 years old, you need to verify that that Trike or that bike has the Hondacare Extended Plan, Extended Service Plan, or Extended Warranty. That can go up to 5 years after the regular warranty expires. You can check that with the VIN number. You can go to any Honda dealer, they can look up the VIN number, and they can tell you if it's covered under the extended warranty. And make sure that warranty gets transferred into your name. You can do that at the Honda dealer. You may have to take your title, you may have to take the bill of sale and the title in there, and then they can transfer that warranty into your name. The next thing I would do is I would consider a third party, like a gap coverage extended warranty. There are some out there available. There's one in particular that DFW Honda sells. I'm not going to mention the name of the company because this is not a sponsored video. I did reach out to that company to see if they wanted to sponsor this video, and they have not gotten back to me. So it's not my place to advertise for them. Here's the bottom line, and Paul knows this. We talked about this. If Paul, and he wasn't that far away, he lives, I think, in Alabama or Mississippi. If he had contacted DFW Honda and had that Trike taken to DFW Honda instead of where he took it, number one, I'm almost certain they would have gotten this handled for him, because they're familiar with Trikes. They're very familiar with the Honda Goldwing engines. They've got the red level service tech right there. And I'm confident he would have had a much better experience. Even if it wasn't all covered by Honda, it would have been a much better experience for him, probably cost a lot less money, or maybe nothing. Who knows? Because they would have been able to determine the exact cause of what was going on. They wouldn't have had to just simply depend on what the Honda tech said at Honda. They're experienced enough with Honda Goldwings, they would have known. Take your motorcycle for service to a dealer that has a red level service tech, period. Don't even consider it if they don't have one. And if you have the option of buying a Goldwing or a Goldwing Trike, buy it from a powerhouse dealer. Go to your dealer locator on the Honda website, the powersports.com Honda website, and it'll tell you right there. That's great information. I've been riding a Goldwing for 20 years. I had no idea the Honda website even gave out that information. I didn't know. If you're on a road trip and you have a major issue, search by zip code where you're located for a red level service tech dealership if you need any work done. It's sad what happened to Paul. He ended up selling the bike or the Trike back to the Trike dealer for like 15 grand. So he ended up taking about a $19,000 loss on this because he didn't want to put another $10,000 in just to have it happen again. I understand that. If he had had this gap coverage, and basically what this third-party gap coverage warranty covers is anything the Trike company won't cover on their end and anything Honda won't cover on their end. If there's any discrepancy between the two, they will cover it. They'll also cover other things like fork seals and other items that would normally not be covered by Honda. I would encourage you, if you're going to purchase a Trike, it's a big investment. It's a big investment. Go ahead and spend the money. Make sure you've got the extended warranty from Honda. Consider a third-party warranty. Typically, Honda will cover anything to the front of the bike. From the Trike kit forward, they're going to cover because that's Honda. But like I said last time, the extended warranty will not cover, it will not replace a headlight. If this headlight unit fails, Honda's not going to replace it even under the extended warranty. And that's a $2,500 to $2,800 replacement. They don't cover the audio unit. The audio unit is $3,000 or $4,000. So if your navigation and audio system go out, Honda doesn't cover that under the extended warranty. That right there might be enough of a reason to have a third-party warranty that will cover those things. So consider that. Check with your Powerhouse dealer or contact my friends over at DFW Honda, and they will explain some of this to you. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions or any comments, if you own a Trike, put it in the comments down below. Let me know what your experience has been with repairs on your Trike, any warranty issues. I felt it necessary to get into this because I've always had such good experiences with Honda on their extended warranty. I have never had a warranty claim denied. And I've had things covered on the Honda warranty and the extended warranty that I honestly didn't think would be covered. And Honda, like I mentioned in my last video, Honda does have the ability to do a goodwill warranty. Even if something's out of warranty, they can cover it. I'll tell you a quick story. I may have mentioned this in the last video, but I'll tell you this. My brother had a Honda Accord, a car. This is back in the 70s. And his car was a few months out of warranty. The warranty had expired and his transmission failed. He had an automatic transmission and it failed. This is in Midland, Texas. The Honda dealer actually had the Honda Tech Line guy from San Antonio or somewhere come to Midland and look at the transmission because they said they had never seen this happen. And Honda said they had never seen this particular kind of failure. And Honda covered that and replaced his transmission, paid for all the parts, all the labor. He got a brand new transmission. So Honda has always, in my experience, gone above and beyond with customer service. So I didn't want to give the impression that Paul's experience was typical, because it wasn't. There are other motorcycle manufacturers that would have been a typical experience, but not with Honda. So anyway, I hope this video helps you. I hope you got some good information out of it. If you did, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to register for my free email newsletter. And if you do, I'll send you my DCT initialization procedure and the emergency start procedure that you can print out and you can keep it in your glove box in case you ever need those when you're on the road. So thanks again for joining me today. And until my next video, remember, ride often, but ride safe.